This podcast is meant to inform, entertain, and occasionally stir the pot in a good way. The opinions expressed are our own, shaped by personal experience and thoughtful research. They may not reflect everyone's views, and we may even offend you. We're just a couple of humans doing our best to advocate, educate, and elevate, one episode at a time. Yours truly, The Bark. P.S. Please don't sue us.
Hey, Candy.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's only been a couple weeks for most people, but it feels like it's been...
Yeah, we recorded a bunch of episodes and then we kind of took a little break.
Yeah.
We've been stretching into some other things.
Yeah.
But we're back and ready to go to get on to our next topic.
Ready to go may be a generous statement.
You're I'm
ready
excited.
to go.
Our topic for today is fostering. I do a lot of fostering and it's something I love. So I feel like this is maybe going to be my favorite episode, at least my favorite episode
That's
so
biased,
far.
but yeah.
Yes, I'm totally biased.
That's fair.
Of course.
That's fair. Well, so we are The Bark. We are a podcast was run by Lost Saving Paws, the 501c3 out of Columbia, Tennessee. You can learn more at lostsavingpaws.org/thebark. And then just on the website itself, there's a lot of really great information about our greater mission and what we're hoping that this podcast will support. And so if you like what you're listening to, we're still going to ask for money. I mean, we still need money for the podcast.
To fund the podcast and other initiatives. So absolutely.
Yeah. So help us keep our mics on, please.
Yeah. Let's just talk about, why we're doing this podcast is to educate the community. There's there's this whole like rescue ecosystem behind the scenes that a lot of people just are not aware of.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing this. This is an educational podcast. And we would love to hear what the community is thinking. What do you have questions about? What have you experienced? What, there's a whole bunch of different rescue subcommittees. There's a whole bunch of different pet ownership sub communities as well. I know, for example, I'm on a lot of Facebook feeds, and for example, I'm on one for aggressive behavior. So there's a lot of, there's some pet owners who they kind of get together and share what works for the others. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to touch all those hot topics and get the word out about what resources, what's needed, so on and so forth. So that's why we're here, and that's why we need our listeners to listen and support.
Because this stuff affects everyone.
Yes.
And it all stems from animal overpopulation. You'll hear us talk about that till we're blue in the face. So, well, Candy, I'm going to... thank you for taking the reins on this. But like Candy said, we're going to talk a lot about fostering today.
Yes.
It's funny because to start off this conversation, she's like, Megan, have you fostered? Nope, never.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I could go big or go home.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that each person could do to support the rescue community. It doesn't have to be fostering. So I'm not surprised. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing.
Right. I thought it was ironic.
Yes, that we're talking about fostering. Yeah, no.
I should know more probably about that. But that's where you come in.
Right.
So Candy's going to talk, because Candy always has about 16 dogs in her house because she's fostering. How many do you have right now?
Right now, there are 6 dogs in my home. One of them is mine, and the 5 are fosters.
How many does it feel like you have?
It depends on the day. On rainy days, it feels like I have 30.
Okay.
On non-rainy days, when they can go outside and do their own thing, it feels like 2 or 3.
That's it? Really?
Yes, because...
What am I doing wrong?
Right. Well, my dog is pretty well trained. Then I have a dog who came from a situation where she's very shy. She lives behind the couch. She's like a cat.
Yeah.
She's like a cat. And then...
Still that one's behind the couch?
She comes out more and more, and she is blossoming. She's becoming very bright and playful. I learned recently she's tricking me.
Oh, like manipulating, you mean?
Manipulating me into doing things for her, I found out. So she's getting more and has been more courageous, but I just didn't recognize what was going on. Like she's been pulling 5 over on me, and I didn't realize it.
I'm telling you, they're smart.
They're smart.
This species.
Yes. And then there's another foster who is supposedly afraid of men, but she's super bonding with my husband.
Oh.
And she just
I'm trying to figure out why, because he's a very masculine man.
Yes.
So I was like trying to figure out how to spin that.
I don't think that I think there's a few things going on there. First off, I think that there are just certain men that scare her. I think that she's not as afraid of men as we thought.
Yeah.
And I just think that there's every once in a while there's a guy that is just like, this guy gives me the jeebies, you know?
I mean, I say that about a lot of men. So
what was the question or was it last year? Bear or man or bear? You know? You haven't heard this?
No, but we should play this game. What is it?
There was a whole social media question posed to women. Would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear?
Oh, that's tough. Can you handpick the man?
No, it's generic. It's just you can't
handpick
the bear. You can't go, oh, Yogi, he has a picnic basket. No, you can't pick either. You just
I don't know. That's tough. I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm opting out.
So back to Piper. She it's just her previous owner, she was afraid of the brother-in-law.
Okay.
For some reason. I met him. He seemed very nice. He was a big burly guy, but he was very nice.
Yeah.
And then I think also she's afraid to meet people out of her comfort zone. So we had a gathering for Labor Day. People came over to our home and there were men and women there, and I put her on a leash just to be safe. And she went around and met men and women and did just fine. But I think it's because she's in her comfort zone.
Yeah.
Versus if I took her for a walk on the street, I think she becomes protective, reactive.
That makes sense. Humans have that though.
Yes.
And I feel like they call that social anxiety disorder, where you can't like socialize and get to know people if you're out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? So that I get it. That makes sense. But good for her. I'm glad she's making progress.
And that's part of fostering is recognizing the dog's characteristics, and then also to a certain degree working on them.
Yeah.
So I've started taking her up the street to little stores that you can take dogs to. We have a place up here called Painted Tree.
Okay. It's
a little gift shop. It's great.
Let's talk about that for a second in case they want to sponsor an episode.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Painted Tree. It's a wonderful little place. It's an artisan shop where there's different booths and you can
get Franklin then?
In Franklin, Tennessee, but they have them in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Do they?
Yes, they have them in different areas.
Noted. And they're dog friendly, it sounds like.
They're dog friendly. You can bring your dog, but I want to talk about that because this is good for fosters to know. Yeah. If you need to socialize your foster, or if you're a pet owner, you need to socialize your pet. TJ Maxx allows you to bring your dog in. Home Depot, Lowe's, those hardware stores, places like that. I think Hobby Lobby, and there's some other ones.
I don't think there's a place you can't bring a dog.
Not to the supermarket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen
that before.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know that I would just venture into the mall and bring my dog.
I don't know. Who goes to mall? Is there? Oh,
yeah,
there is a mall.
There's a mall.
Cool Springs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So I don't know. I'm always like, I don't bring a dog unless I see a sign or I've looked on their website.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply.
Oh,
you know, and the other pet stores.
Well, I think it's really cool because I feel like I know a lot of, I feel like I know a lot of people who foster.
Yeah.
Or at least, I don't know. You see online, like everyone's just fostering animals because you have no place to bring them.
Right.
And but you have to understand when you're fostering, and not everyone, I guess, has the capacity to do this.
Right.
But you're spending time with them to make them adoptable too. You're working on things.
Yes, we're not trying to make a perfect dog. There's no such thing as a perfect dog. There's dogs that fit better with some households versus others. But that's what you're trying to explore. That way, in order to build that dog's profile, you have to know what's their energy level, what do they like, what do they don't like, are they afraid of kids, are they cat testing. I can go to the pet supermarket and or PetSmart or whatever where they have cats up for adoption, and very carefully I can cat test a dog, for example. I used to have a cat of my own. I used to cat test with her. I no longer have her.
Do you want to, like, I don't want to exploit your tragedy, but
Yeah.
do you
We can
want to
talk
share what
about
happened
it.
so
We
that
can,
other people may be able
yeah.
to learn from it?
Yes.
Again,
So,
we don't
yeah.
have to, but I clearly just put you on the spot.
Yeah.
So
So let's talk about that. So what Megan is getting at, and I guess we're diving in head first
guess
because
we're doing
this is a big
it.
story and not a huge, I mean, um, I had a cat for years and I have been fostering for years with this cat, and she did just fine. But then we had a cat aggressive dog as a foster, and one door got left open that shouldn't have been left open, and the dog got to the cat, and she harmed her. And we just had to make the difficult decision to put her down. So I no longer have my cat.
But
So
it's an important
it's a consideration.
lesson. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not, again, like I was
Yeah.
just using that as maybe a way for people to understand.
Yeah. You have to
You
really
can't just throw the dogs, if you want to foster, you can't just
right.
throw them in the same room, just like if you're adopting a dog.
Right, exactly. Even if you have, let's say you have dogs already and you're like, oh, I'm going to just foster another dog.
Yeah.
If you have not brought your dogs around other dogs, or that dog you have to do a dog test.
Yeah.
And the main thing about doing a dog test is don't do it in your home. Don't do it alone. You go off property. That way your dog is not being protective of their territory.
Yep.
Right? So you take a walk off property and you walk. There's different methods, but the one I've been taught is you go for a little walk, and once the dogs are calm, then you let them sniff each other and see how it's going to go. But
walking together, I have heard, like, bonds them. Right?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Okay. And I think in the beginning of an intro, the dogs are bouncing around like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Once you can get them each calm, it's like, oh, okay, you calm down, so you're not gonna do anything to me. Like, we can be calm, like, you good, bro? Yeah, I'm good, bro. Like, that kind of thing. So and then you let them meet each other, and they might get along at that point, and they might not.
Yeah.
So it's something to consider. There are fosters. I've had this in my home before, where certain dogs don't get along, or you might have a dog aggressive dog, and it's crate and rotate or baby gates. Yeah. Oh. And it depends on the dog's energy. Some dogs are fine being left alone for periods of time, and it makes crate and rotate or the baby gate situation easier. But if you've got two rambunctious dogs that are high energy and you're trying to keep them separated all day, that's tough, especially someone like me who's a working professional.
Yeah.
I'm gone most of the day. If you're retired and you spend an hour in the morning with dog one, put them up, and you go spend an hour with dog two, there could be a better balance of things. And when I say spend time, it can be go on a walk, go watch TV, go run your errands. You can just have one dog and then the other, and it works a little bit better. But
so do you have a favorite?
No, it's like children.
Like ever but I mean, is there one dog that you fostered?
Okay.
You do.
There is. Once I started fostering, I fell in love with the process.
Yeah.
And I have thought to myself, I will never own my own dog again. I will just foster for the rest of my life. It's a great experience. I love meeting all the dogs. I love learning about them. I've gotten a little bit into training. So this is stretching me in and you get moving, you go for walks more, you do this. So it's healthier lifestyle, if you will. There was a dog a few months ago happened to be named Candy as well.
Right. Another bias. Okay, got it.
No, that's not why. That's not why.
I know.
But she would just curl up in a certain way, and I have a picture of her with her little head on my neck and everything. Aww. And she would just, all the dogs, they come to you, they like you, this and that and the other, but she and I just had this connection. So I almost adopted her. But actually my best friend and her family adopted her. So I still get to see her. Her new name is Snickers because it was a little awkward to have two, the friend named Candy and then the dog named.
I could see that.
It's Snickers, know. But they are she's adorable.
They get attached to you? Like, do any of your dogs get so attached to you that they have trouble moving on? Okay.
Yes, I had a dog. Well, I think it was a combination of things. And this is the power of fostering, because I know that we planned this segment, but we're actually going all over the map, and I love it because this story, I was going to talk about this dog in particular, but not probably this part of her journey, but
Okay.
I think this part of her journey is even more important. Her name, what was her name when she was with me? Remy. Her name was Remy when she was with me. Because sometimes the dogs are renamed, and actually I don't think they renamed her.
Are they Red Sox fans?
No.
Oh,
the adopters, I'm trying to remember if the original owner, I don't think the original owner called her Remy, but the original owner surrendered her. She got adopted by a sheriff's deputy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And the sheriff's deputy, I think, is the one who named her Remy, like Remington.
Oh, okay. There
Yes.
is, for those of you who care, you don't, Candy, but that's fine. You can humor me. There is a Red Sox pretty well-known broadcaster, Jerry Remy. Yeah, he was a widely loved man. So, but anyways, yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's
very
it.
sweet.
Okay.
So
on.
she's adopted by the sheriff's deputy, and that in and of itself, I won't get into it because it's a whole story. I basically had to go to court to get this dog. That's the one that I had to go to court to get the dog from the adopters.
Okay.
Because she had diarrhea. I hate to say it. She had diarrhea.
Okay.
She calls the rescue back, or they call the rescue and say, hey, we've been having trouble with this dog. It has diarrhea. And we're like, how long has it had diarrhea? Since we got her 3 months ago. And we're like, oh my gosh.
Poor thing.
Yeah, we can talk about that one another time, but things unfolded. Long story short, we went to court to get the dog back, and the judge gave us, because it was in the contract, read your contracts.
Yeah.
The judge gave us the dog back. I went and got her. She became my foster. She bonded to me like she was a German Shepherd. I had never had a German Shepherd in my house before. And she would get on the couch and just turn and stare at me like I'm watching TV, and I have this face right here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is she gonna bite me?
No, she just loves you. Oh, this makes me so happy.
Every night I'm like, Remy, can you give me some space, or like lay on my lap or something? Anyway, we figured out our routine, and one day I take her to a meet and greet, and the people that were interviewing her were already a little. We're there for a meet and greet, and we're trying to get the dogs to bond. Their dog started chasing her, wanting to snap at her and everything. I said, okay, maybe, do you have some treats that we can work with? And they're like, oh no, we don't. I'm like, how do you own a dog and you don't have treats?
They don't have dog treats?
Right. They didn't have dog. So I was like, okay.
Red flag.
I gave her the leash, the wife the leash, and I said, will you hold her? I'm going to go to my car and get my treats. Okay. When I'm walking away, Remy starts jumping and screaming, like crying and screaming, because I was walking away.
Oh.
And so I ignored it. I was like, oh no, don't do that. And I went and got the treats, and I came back. Long story short, that meet and greet, it didn't click. So she didn't get adopted.
Yeah.
But when you talk about attachment, you would think, okay, did I get attached to her as well? And I felt, after all I went through to get her, I felt protective of her for sure.
That makes sense.
After that meet and greet, I also felt like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this dog adopted? She's attached to me. I really love her, everything.
All the things.
She started guarding me a little bit from my dog, which I learned is a typical German Shepherd trait. So, but then these other people put in an application for her, and they came to meet her at my home. They were lovely. We talked. We did a home visit. Or actually, I think first we did the home visit at their home. She met them. She met their dog. Everything was nice, and they thought about it, and they decided to adopt her. Okay, and I'm like, how is this going to go? Like, you just get a little bit of nervous energy sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially this dynamic where we had been through so much together. Anyway, fast forward, the people come to pick her up, and she was so excited to see them. It was like she was like, hey, look who's here. And she ran off, and that was it. And in that moment,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't upset. I wasn't heartbroken. I'm like, that's it. That's why I'm here to do this.
Yeah.
And that for most adoptions, that's when you know that you're really getting it right, is when that dog is like, those are my people.
Yeah.
They kind of choose, and they're like.
And how often does that happen, you'd say?
A lot.
Really?
A lot, like so,
okay, good.
So many of the adopters that either because sometimes we transport the dog, so I can't meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do like virtual home visit, or you have somebody nearby that can go do a home visit. And I have a dog that I didn't get to go to their home, but I met the lady on the road. And even before I met her, she was so charming, just so charming and sweet and everything. And that was last year, around this time of year. And I still get, the dog has been through several training courses, good citizen. The dog shares the same name as my sister Canella,
Brownie
so
points.
she posts about the dog, and then I tag my sister in it, and so we're both invested in this dog. But you meet these people, and then you see the dog click, even if you're seeing it remotely. There's this click, and you're like, that's it, we're done.
That's awesome.
We're done.
Well, you want to see it thrive.
Yes. I have a dog named Coco that one of Winnie's friends that came in with Winnie, the dog that stays behind the couch.
Yep.
All the girls were fearful. Coco was a fearful girl, went off to her adopter, and I'm getting videos of her like running around in the landscape and all. Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so when people tell me, oh, I could never do that. Oh, I could never give the dog up. You can, because when you see that moment, it comes full circle, and you're like, okay, that's why I need to turn around and get the next dog out of the shelter or out of a rescue, work with them to get to know them, and then connect them to the right home.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was just having this conversation with my friend last night, because her husband, he had someone he knew from work who I guess he would train like failed service dogs, or he would foster failed service dogs.
Funny.
Yeah. And so they were like amazing dogs, because even a failed service dog is like probably 10 times better than one of my dogs. So, I mean, if we're being honest. And my friend was like, I could never do that. I would just want to keep them. I'm like, maybe. I don't know.
Even my dog, the day that we had friends over, we have a friend who is in the construction industry, does great work, came over and did some work on our home. And for the days that he was in our home, I'm at the office, and my dog is hanging out with him. And I would get random photos of my dog, like
that's awesome,
with his nose in the project, and I would come home at lunch, and there were times where I could see them out the window, and I would take photos and I would send it to our friend, and of course, and everything. But anyway, our friend comes, the work is over, our friend comes over and our dog is elated to see him. And he was inquiring about another dog that I had in my home. They're building their own home. They can't have a dog right now, but he inquired, and I was like, oh, she got adopted. He really liked her. I'm like, she got adopted, and she would hang out with him too. And somebody made a comment, or he made a comment about adopting Tank, our dog, and I was like, oh, and
I didn't say no.
I did. I told him, I was like, honestly, you're the only person that I would ever consider that for. He's like, are you serious? You would adopt out Tank? And I said, not for me.
Yeah.
The way you two are together, I would think twice about it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Wait, you would? Wait.
I would think twice of, I can't.
Wait, you would think twice? Like you would hesitate?
Of course I would hesitate. It's my dog.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I would give it a second thought. And
see, okay. Can I just tangent for a second?
Yeah.
That really confused me, because normally the expression is I wouldn't think twice, which means you are confident in your decision.
Yeah.
That confused me a lot.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm probably saying it backwards because I probably should have said, I wouldn't hesitate and say, no, you're not taking my dog.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, I would think it through.
Yeah.
If he seriously wanted my dog,
think twice.
I would think twice about it. And I don't know what the final, I mean, it's my dog and I love him so much, but you have to, and look, I work in an office. My dog gets stuck at home.
Yeah.
He works where he can take dogs sometimes. Why wouldn't I do that for my dog?
Oh.
Who is so, and I mean, the other thing I told him is, it's not like I would never see him again.
Right.
We're friends,
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not adopting my dog out. Oh my God, I'm gonna get some hate mail on that whole story.
No, you won't. No one emails us, Candy.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to send hate mail,
you could.
the bark at lawsavingpaws.org. Okay, can we talk about the financial component of this? Because are people like, well, that's going to cost me money. I can't afford to foster. Like, what does that situation look like normally?
So remember that the rescue or the shelter are there too to support you.
Okay.
The reason why fostering is so important is that the shelters are full, and the shelters cause stress to dogs. It's like, imagine being put in prison, but we're humans. If we were put in prison, we would know why.
Yeah.
Did I rob a bank? Did I this?
We haven't talked about blackfish in at least 2 months, so I feel like we could just talk about blackfish again. But those poor killer whales didn't know why they were in the tanks.
Why they're put in a tank, right? Well, a dog doesn't know why they're all of a sudden taken maybe from a cushy couch, or living on the lam out in the forest, to this little cage, and then they don't know what's going to happen next. Is something going to eat me? Am I going to live in here? And there's this kennel stress that happens. And then the other thing in a shelter situation is you don't know the dog's true behavior. Is that dog potty trained?
Yeah.
Because when that shelter closes at 4 or 5 p.m., that dog is left there overnight until 6 or 7 or 8 a.m. when the shelter opens back up. So that dog, of course, is going to have to use the bathroom in the kennel. Okay. So then when people ask somebody at the shelter, well, is the dog potty trained? We don't know.
Yeah.
Because, so, and then also, does the dog chew on furniture? Do they need to grow out of that? Do I need to crate them before I let them loose in my home? So this is why fostering is so important. Also, most rescues are foster based. A lot of people will call the rescues like, hey, I want to come and see X dog at your rescue. It's like, no, this is not a store. This is not a shop.
And that's surprise. I didn't know about that. Immediately.
Right. Most rescues depend on fosters to make what they're doing happen.
Yep.
Okay. But going back to the financial question, it's a great question because the rescue handles most of the finances. Okay. So any vetting, spay, neuter, vaccinations. We have 2 dogs here today, but they are not cooperating with me on this. These are treats, by the way. This is not something gross on the couch next to me. We were trying to get the dogs on the sofa and they abandoned ship. Anywho, we have 2 dogs here. Jagger, one of the dogs, we had to take to urgent care last night because he was winking his eye, and I'm like, I try to look good when I come home from work, but I know I don't look that good. He's not winking at me, so
I didn't know where on earth you were going with that, by the way. So, but we made it. All right.
So we made it. All right. Sorry, I probably got off on too many tangents.
Great. It was great.
But he's winking, and I had a meeting last night for work, so I had to call my husband like, I need you to come home, and I need to hand off this dog for you to go up the street to the vet, and get him looked at. So anyway. He got looked at. He has a little scratch on his retina. He's okay. It's probably just from playing or something. But that bill will go to the rescue. Okay. So even people who are like, I love dogs, but I can't afford one.
Yeah.
It's a great way to have a dog. Not you can't keep it. If it gets adopted, you have to let it go.
Right.
So you can't take advantage of the rescue either and be like, hey, you just pay for my dog to live with me forever, right? No, that's not how it works. But if you like dogs, you want to help dogs, but you can't afford dogs, you can work with a rescue or a shelter. Depending on the rescue or the program, they'll provide food.
Okay.
It's your choice. I just buy the food for my fosters because sometimes for these rescues, they will work with a certain brand of food or this or that and the other. And I've had it to where this dog eats this type of food and that dog eats it. And I'm like, no.
That sounds really high maintenance.
It's a nightmare. And also, the dogs, even when they come into my house, they like the dog food that I feed my dog. So I just switch them on over.
Yeah.
So,
So I guess you kind of touched on too. So shelters also foster out though sometimes, because that was new to me.
Yeah. Some shelters have foster programs and some don't.
Okay.
Even rural shelters, they might not have an official foster program because they have limited workers, limited space, and so they can't run an official program. And it takes a lot to recruit fosters. So even if they don't have a program, call them and ask them, because they might say, you know what, we don't have an official program. fill out this form
Yeah.
because it would help to take these dogs out. And even if you rotate, let's say I'm going to take this dog for a few days or maybe even a week, then I'm going to put him back in the shelter and I'm going to take this next dog. Just give them little vacations.
Well, and I think at our shelter or my local shelter, they do like medical fosters. So if a dog, for instance, like needs heartworm treatment or they need to recover from something that they just wouldn't be good for them to stay in the shelter.
Even spay neuter. You want a dog in a home setting, not in a shelter where they can lick their wounds, where it's dirty, where dogs are running around them, things like that. So even spay neuter, even if you can rotate, and let's say, I think the spay neuter recovery, some doctors say a week, some doctors say, vets say 10 days. Even if you rotate every 10 days and okay, which one is getting fixed next? That's a huge help.
Yeah.
And then while the dog is in your home, you can also see, are they potty trained or not? I've gotten the hang of potty training where I can get an adult dog potty trained within 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's madness to me. Well, an adult dog. Well, I guess I've never tried to potty train an adult dog.
The adult dogs to me are easier than puppies.
Yeah.
Puppies, they're just not consistent.
Yeah.
I've had dogs where one dog had never lived in a home before, and he comes to my house. He hiked his leg. I was like, hey, and jetted him outside. That was the one and only time he ever used the bathroom in my house.
Wow. So I'm gonna give you one of my dogs, just for fun, and then you can potty train her.
There we go.
Because she's just not.
Yeah.
It's not taken.
It's
a me problem.
Yes,
I know.
We've
well
talked
aware.
about this.
We've
it's
talked about this.
Consistency and structure.
Yeah, mommy just doesn't have it in her.
Yeah, I do. I very much do crate training.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The
totally.
Training. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, here's the issue too. The type of your house is like designed so well for potty training and fostering. Just even, to be honest, like the layout, the flooring.
Yes.
Like.
Yes.
Not carpet.
The tricky part with carpet, and I've heard this from other people, is that sometimes it can feel soft and comfortable and maybe like grass.
Yes. I believe that because my darling Dola has destroyed my carpet. And the thing is, they're just very inconspicuous about it because they'll you don't even know. It happens like 8 hours prior. And if it doesn't smell, I don't see it.
Right.
And then in 2 months, I'm like, what's that
Why
spot?
Does it stink? Yeah.
It will. And it's just, So
we had carpet in the rooms that are now the dog rooms, but who knows how long it was there before we bought the home. And it just became, just got to the point and we put down LVT. And I'll tell you, once I have experience with LVT in my condo beforehand. And once we put LVT down in those 2 rooms, my husband's like, we should just do this across the whole house.
Yeah. What is LVT? Laminate something?
Luxury vinyl tile.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was. Okay.
And I don't know why they call it luxury vinyl. I think it's just a marketing sales thing, but it's vinyl tile.
Oh,
it just looks nice. I think nowadays the designs in those types of floors have gotten nicer.
Yeah.
But they all look nice pretty much.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. But anyway, that's what we have in our home.
Okay.
And that when you're fostering, you have to make things as practical as possible.
Yep.
So that's what we've done.
So why did you start doing it? And I don't even know when you started, to be honest.
I always wanted to foster dogs or kids. It was one or the other.
Similar.
Yeah. And my husband and I got married in 2019. And then we were looking for a home, and I wanted a home with some land because I knew I wanted to foster. I didn't know I was going to go this far into fostering, but I knew I wanted to foster. And then I wasn't paying attention to the news in early 2020.
Okay.
And
like when COVID happened?
When COVID was happening, I was so busy at work, and then people were talking about, there's some new flu. I'm like, yeah, I'll get it or I won't get it.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Exactly.
It'll be fine. And then my boss, she's very caring. My boss at the time, she was like, oh my gosh, this illness thing. I'm like, what? I'll have to, okay, fine. I'll look it up later and read about it, Yeah. And I went home I brought my laptop home, fortunately, but I snuck out of the office a little bit early to go pick up my first foster. And when I got back home, I checked my email. It was like a don't come in on Monday COVID thing.
Oh, really?
It was like a I want to say February 29th of 2020.
Funny.
And I went and picked up, I went to this shelter, Hickman Humane, and there was this bouncy, pouncy dog. And I was like, oh, he'd match up with my dog's energy. And they're like, you have a dog that's already like that? And I'm like, yeah, they'll be great together, won't they? And they're like, no. And they directed me toward these little stuffy piglet type of dogs. And had I known how sweet this dog was going to be, I would have picked out the other dogs in that room.
Yeah.
I would have taken all three of them.
Of course you would have.
I would have.
Yeah.
Let me put it this dog was chubby. Another set of my friends adopted her.
Okay.
She's another one that we thought about maybe adopting, but
that you would think twice about. Sorry. I will never, ever, ever let you live that down ever.
I know,
ever,
right?
Ever. Okay.
So Lucy was adopted by friends of ours actually as well. That doesn't happen a lot. We just happen to have 3 dogs that were adopted by friends.
Okay.
But anyway, that's besides the point.
So if Candy ever asks you to be her friend, it's really just because she wants you to adopt one of her dogs.
This is how you get a dog. Lucy is so adorable, but she's this fat, pudgy, pitty mixed dog. I have pictures of her standing in line behind the cat eating her food.
Okay.
That way, when the cat leaves the bowl, Lucy can eat the rest of the cat food.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cute.
That's very cute.
That's love.
She is so sweet. And when I go visit her family, I'll just Lucy, and she just immediately her little chubby behind.
And her name is Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She's so cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so and that's when it started. So
that's when it started. So I had Lucy.
Yeah.
She got adopted, and then I switched rescues. Which rescue to pick is a whole different topic. I switched rescues, and then that rescue started sending me their dogs, and I would foster, and then next one and next one and next one. And then it would build and go down just depending on the situation. I would have 1, then maybe 2, then maybe at one point I had 4, and now I've switched rescues a few more times, and I don't always limit. There are some rescues I won't foster for anymore.
Well, that's what I would love to talk a little about, honestly. Yeah, like if they're what can you expect if you want to? What are they going to ask you? Are they going to visit your home or whatnot? And I mean, are there any red flags?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's talk about that. So setting boundaries. You have to know yourself. You have to know your home. If there's a dog that does not like kids, you have to, most rescues will have you fill out a form, and you fill out things like that, like has kids, has other dogs, has other cats. Those are the big 3.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have somebody a pet in your home that's going to endanger one of the others, unless you are let's call it super foster, that knows how to.
Is that an actual term?
No, I don't know how.
Like, whoa.
There are people who are just getting into it, or there are people who are like, I can foster 1 dog at a time, or there are people who are like, they have no other animals and they just foster 1 or 2.
Okay.
But then you have these people who just dive head first. I don't know. We need to come up with a name for them, and they are willing to crate and rotate.
Okay.
Safely keep dogs and cats apart if you have to, safely keep 2 dogs apart if you have to, things like that. So when considering a rescue, you have to give them the parameters. Even if they don't ask you about your home, if they don't do a home visit, that's a red flag.
Yes.
Some of my rescues have not done a home visit, but I came with a referral from another rescue. So there should be some type. And there have been situations where there's bad fosters. There have been situations where all of a sudden this foster I've been called into situations where a foster all of a sudden has 40 dogs in their home.
I see that on the news.
Yeah.
Oh, we've talked about it a little.
Yeah.
Like, become animal hoarders.
And you have to, before I got into this, I kind of mentally had to prepare myself and say, look, you're not going to be able to save them all. You're going to do what you can.
Can you repeat that one more time?
You're not going to be able to save them. Not today. We want to get there. But today, we cannot save them all. We have to be realistic. This is not always going to be easy, but it'll be okay.
Right.
That
was, oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. Can you say it in Spanish?
Oh, God. Not that good. So that's what I kind of had to have my own mantra. And then I got to know these rescues, and some of them were not. There was one rescue I worked with, I won't mention the name, but the person leading the rescue just had a horribly negative way of speaking to people, speaking down to them. That rescue
down to people who are fostering, or to like potential adopters?
Fosters, adopters, everyone that they spoke with. I have people who adopted from that rescue who, after a certain period of time in the adoption process, they said, look, I'm still interested in that dog. I really like the dog, but I don't want to speak to the rescue person anymore. And they would speak to me. And I still keep in contact with these people.
Yeah.
One of them has turned into a rescuer herself, and we go off and we do rescue things together. She's wonderful. But yeah, there are several things you can do. Look on Yelp and Google for reviews.
Yelp, see, I don't know. I have a gripe with Yelp because bigger businesses maybe, or even smaller ones, they pay for their own reviews. It's like a crooked.
Right. But if you find negative reviews, they didn't pay for that.
True story.
Right?
Yeah.
So look out. And look, every once in a while, you're going to have to turn somebody down. You're going to have to turn down an adopter. You're going to have to turn down a foster. So you could get, if you see a few of those negative reviews, that should be typical.
Yeah.
But if there's 10 reviews and like half of them are negative, that's a red flag. That should not be happening.
What's worse than red? Maroon?
Yeah.
Maroon black.
Why does it have to be worse than red?
I feel like anything could be worse.
Yes,
I mean, red flag. Why isn't there a deeper level? Why isn't this like terror level?
Yeah.
Like
so yeah, you have to set up with your rescue, and then also know their policies. Are they going to pay for the vetting? What happens in an emergency? Like I had to take the dog to the urgent care last night. If I couldn't get in touch with the rescue, what I tend to do is I just pay for it and I get reimbursed.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
So you have to know, is this person going to be available after hours? How, if I pay for it, can they reimburse me? Also, fosters think that, oh, you know what? I'll just take the dog to be groomed and they'll reimburse me. And it's not a dog. It's like a pit bull. It doesn't need to be groomed.
Yeah.
You throw pit bulls in the hose, scrub them down.
Yeah.
They get a towel. They're done. Those extra things, rescues can't afford them.
Yeah.
Rescues are fundraiser based or donation based.
Yeah.
They don't have funds for that.
I have a friend who, she said, if you're making money in rescue, then there's a problem.
Oh yeah. And people are like, well, you're charging $150, $200, $250. Some rescues charge $400 per dog. Vetting the dog costs that much. It's rare to get a dog that's already vaccinated and spayed and neutered. And then you get a lot of these, can you help this dog that was shot? That's $1,000, $2,000 bill. Can you help this dog that was hit by a car? That's $1,000. So for every one of those critical medical cases, you have to adopt out 10 dogs or so to make the difference between the regular spay, neuter, vaccination, and get that difference and put it back toward your deficit for that medical dog. Or the dog that needs behavioral training. Yeah. So.
And I do think you get what you pay for. We've talked about this even with like purchasing bred dogs. But like my girl, she's a foster, and I got her in Colorado, and I'm just going to tell this little story because it's kind of cute. But I wasn't planning. I had talked about getting another dog. I had my one dog, Brady. He's a big German Shepherd. And I brought him to a brewery in Colorado. And that day, I was with a friend. It was a dog park brewery. So like my dog was playing and everything. And I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, I thought about getting another dog, and literally like 20 minutes later, I'm getting my check. I bring Brady, and I'm walking, and this woman just puts this puppy in my arms. She goes,
that was not fair.
Yeah, it wasn't, but I was like, oh, that's a God thing. But she put the puppy in my hands, and she's like, oh, she's for adoption. Do you want her? And I was like, oh, this is weird. I was just talking about this. And I'd want her to meet, her name is Jules now. Yeah. I'd want Jules to meet Brady. And so I was like, well, he's right here. We'll just do this little introduction right now. Yeah. And it honestly, it worked out perfectly. But anyways, her fee was like, I'm pretty sure she was like $400.
Yeah.
But I saw where she was.
Yes.
I saw, like, I got to meet all her siblings, and it's just, I didn't question. It's not like a game of bottom dollar. I could afford it. I knew I could take care of another dog, so I didn't even question like paying that amount.
Right.
You know? But also the animal population, I mean, the population was I think it was a little different back then. Well, it was a few years ago, but yeah, I don't know. It's a different world we live in now.
Yeah.
But and that's my extent of adoption.
There you go. And speaking of fostering, for example, I pay for the dog food for my home.
Yeah.
I can keep my receipts, and those are tax deductible later. Those expenses are tax deductible later. I have invested in things like harnesses. I have harnesses that say adopt me on the side.
Oh, I have one of your harnesses in my car.
Oh, you do? How the heck do you have one of my harnesses? I don't. Interesting. Okay.
Anyway,
so I
just couldn't forget to tell you that.
I've invested in some equipment that way. If I take the dogs hiking, if I take them to an adoption event, people know. If I take them to TJ Maxx, people know the dog is available for adoption. They can ask me questions, or I have a friend looking. Da da da. So when I buy those tools and materials, those are also tax deductible.
Yeah.
So even if you do invest, and I consider this, my husband has his hobbies. This is not exactly a hobby, but I treat it kind of like a hobby in that we spend money on our hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, this is my investment, how far I want to go into this.
Yeah.
So.
And how is that? Is it tax deductible because the rescue is a 501c3?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's be careful. I haven't come across any rescues that are not 501c3.
Yeah. But they can be. I know they can be, but they're not required to be. So, okay. I mean, so what happened? So I had, you know what's interesting? I had never heard of the term foster fail until I moved here.
Oh, really?
Because I realized I was involved in one.
Yes.
And it sounds so negative. And I was like, oh, that sounds horrible. But it's actually a really good thing.
It's a double negative. Kind of, right? No.
I don't know.
No. Yeah. So foster fail is just basically when you foster a dog and it doesn't get adopted because the foster themselves decide to adopt it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it.
So it's a good thing.
Yes.
But it's tricky because then is that foster going to stop fostering because now they that spot in their home is taken up by that dog kind of thing.
Unless your name is Candy.
Yeah. And then you just, but I didn't adopt any dogs yet.
Yeah.
Yet. Oh, you hear me?
And so there are dogs that have like special needs. We kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
And fostering seniors, like if you're looking for, I don't know, are there certain rescues that offer like certain types of dogs if you're in a season of life?
You can have rescues that specialize in certain breeds.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that specialize in puppies. There's one in Nashville. Oh my gosh.
Wags.
No, lots of love or laps of love. I'm sorry, there's a different service. I'm sorry.
Is it not related to dogs at all?
It is. It is related to dogs. They're a service that comes and euthanizes at the dog's end of life. They come to your home. Laps of
Oh,
love.
that is horribly depressing, but
it's a good service.
It's good.
I'm forgetting the one that's in Nashville that they specialize. They only do puppies up to 6 months. Actually, the dog has to be between 6 weeks and 6 months for them to, or 6 weeks and 12 weeks for them to take it in.
Okay.
And then they adopt it. They have all these puppies.
Do they have ones that are for senior dogs as well then?
There is the senior dog sanctuary. There's one in Tennessee as well, and one in the Middle Tennessee area. I should have written, I didn't realize we were going to talk about this, but I wish I had their names, kind of promote them a little bit. But yeah, there are some, because there are people who, like me, I honestly don't prefer to foster puppies. They're too bouncy for me. I can't keep up. I work all day. You know, it's just a lot for me. Anybody who's looking to adopt a puppy, just,
great. Good for you.
Oh, good for you. Good luck. All the best. But it's not my thing. I prefer a year, that they are at least a year or older.
Okay.
And then there are people who they want the older dogs that just need a place to rest their head, that are still somewhat playful.
Yeah.
At least some of them have a lot of energy too.
And now if you're fostering, would you also advise everyone in the household, do they ask this question on the application? Should everyone in the household be on board with this?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just wondering.
Yeah. And even some of the adoption questions, some of the adoption applications have, is everybody in agreement about having this dog in the home?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
So you're going to keep doing it for another 25 years?
We'll see.
Yeah.
However long I can. Maybe as I get older, the dogs, I'll start fostering for the senior sanctuaries, because that might be all I can handle.
Okay. So, all right. So if you had to give, I know we've probably already talked about it a little, but if you had to say, I don't know. All right, you know what? How about you tell us the thing you like most about fostering, and then something you dislike the least, dislike the most, dislike the least? I don't know. You know what I'm asking.
Yes. What I love is just seeing them. The same party that we had a few weeks ago, sitting around with some girlfriends, and they look over and they have this moment where they're like, oh my gosh, how adorable. And it's because a few of my fosters were wrestling on the lawn.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting there watching it, but they're having this awe moment. And I'm like, I get to see this all the time.
Yeah.
And I love it. My favorite thing is when one dog sits on top of the other. I love that. I love that. So I get to have those moments all the time.
Yeah.
What I don't like is I'm not the best trainer. I need to fix that. I need to get into training.
I'd argue you're pretty good if you're potty training dogs in 2 weeks.
Well, I need to learn how to get dogs to walk well on a leash.
Oh,
that's my struggle.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I need to get better at that. So so some of those things are a challenge for me. I'm trying to get better at it, but my progress is slow because I'm involved in so many things. So that's the part that I dislike. Sometimes dogs will chew on something they shouldn't chew on. That's a pain in the neck too.
Yes.
And rather discouraging.
You've had that happen.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't agree with the rescue, some of the things that they're doing or how much effort they're putting in. And that's what I'll tell you. If you're a foster, you need to ask the rescue where they post the dogs. That's a big one.
Ooh,
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because I've had rescues or fosters who are fostering a dog for months, and the dog is not posted for adoption. It's like, where
are they trying to trick you into keeping it forever?
I think that they get overwhelmed and they get busy, but then they focus on, don't take on any more cases unless you're taking care of the ones that you already have in house.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. Ask them where they're posting. Pet Finder, Adopt a Pet, Rescue Me, all the Pet Finder. Chewy has a listing. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you post your dogs? And then give them a week. You have to get to know the dog for at least a week. Do they like walks? Are they lazy? Are they? You're the dog's advocate. You're giving a voice to the voiceless. So you hand over all that information. You can create the profile yourself. You hand that back to the rescue. Say, here's what I want to post, or here's what I put together. Feel free to edit it yourself.
Yeah.
Give them another few days or maybe a week, because maybe it's somebody like me who works during the week, but they can get to it on the weekends or some evenings. Give them another week, but then check the websites where they said they post.
Yeah.
And if that dog is not there, then it's not a foster dog.
It's your dog.
It's your dog. I mean, not legally. I'm exaggerating here. But basically, if that dog is not posted, it's not a foster dog. And you do have to wait. If the dog is not spayed and neutered yet, if it's not old enough to be adopted yet, things like that. There are some caveats to that. But if the dog is ready to go, it should be posted.
Yeah.
Even I do a lot of postings for rescues, and I post before the dog is spayed or neutered. As long as we have the appointment and we know Fido's going to get spayed next week, I'm going to post him today. Yeah. That way, if an applicant can call and be like, okay, but he's not going to be ready until next week.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Some dogs will post a month in advance if they're undergoing heartworm treatment.
Yeah.
And we'll put in the listing, we'll be ready for adoption on mid-September, mid-October. That way the people will know. Yeah. This is so I will have to say the things I don't like are mostly the human based interactions, I'll be honest.
Like working with other people.
Present company excluded.
Thanks. I should hope so.
working with other fosters can be a challenge sometimes because I'm trying to get their information for the profiles and they can be negative. They can be willy-nilly and I don't get information on the dog for weeks. And it's like every time I have to follow up with you, it's more time I'm wasting.
It's doing a disservice to the dog too.
Yes, and your household.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get the dog out of your household.
Yeah.
So, so there's that, but the parts that I love are my landscape. What I get to look out, I get to see these dogs grow. I'm watching Winnie come out from behind the couch and play with the other dogs.
Yeah.
I've had a foster, the one that I said earlier, had never lived in a home, teaching him how to walk on hard floors. We put out towels. Because he would walk on the towel and then we would lined up a bunch of hot dog pieces along the towels. And once he got comfortable,
that's genius,
hopping towel to towel, you remove a towel and spread the towels out a little bit more. So maybe he has to take a step.
I like that.
Yeah. So figuring out
food. Okay. When I was younger, sorry. I really think it's just my inner like Boston coming out, but I never used to pronounce my R's when I was younger.
Okay.
And so my mom would give me Reese's Pieces
so you had to ask
say word. I think she was just trying to train like a Boston accent out of me, which is ridiculous.
Funny.
But so anyways, so sometimes when if I use food as a reward, I blame my mom.
Oh.
But anyways, it just reminded me of the hot dog walking thing, and I figured we needed a tangent in a while.
Food is a great motivator, and figuring out how to get dogs through their fears and everything has been very interesting to get into.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So you are a super rescuer or super foster. I'm just gonna let you know. I'm gonna give you an award.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it. It's brought a lot of meaning to my world, and I really appreciate it.
And you're helping with the animal crisis. I had to backtrack. Like you are. It's not like solving the root of the issue, but you're creating more bandwidth.
Yeah. For those dogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's taught me a lot so that I can help in other ways. Like even applying for grants, even creating these dog profiles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Things like that.
You've learned a lot. I mean, I feel like you've learned a lot. So I mean, thank you for seriously. This is like such a an understatement, but Candy prepared this entire episode. So thank you so much.
It was great talking about these experiences, these dogs. We've probably fostered close to 50, I want to say, over the past 5 years.
Wow.
And
that's it. I feel like it's been way more.
No, it might.
Wow.
So I've had some dogs for more than a year. Winnie's been with me for more than a year. So some dogs kind of get stuck with me for a little bit. Yeah. So I've learned a lot. I've had a lot of great moments with them. I love them to pieces.
Yeah.
And I love getting updates. If you adopt a dog, send updates back to your foster, the rescue. We love it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I will reiterate, we are puppers.
Oh, now? Come here.
If you're not watching, the dogs just came in from outside and are going crazy.
Yeah.
But we are not a rescue. Lost Saving Paws is not a rescue.
Yes.
I would just like to say that.
Yes.
Again and again and again.
Yes.
I still get emails.
Come here.
So
we have Jagger and Jaden here today, but they're usually very calm dogs, but they're in a new spot. We think that there's a critter in the backyard here, and they just have not hung out with us today. That's Jaden. He's the one that had the problem with his eye yesterday. So he's on medicine and doing so much better today.
Yeah.
Hi.
They're good.
Hi. Yeah.
So, Candy, thank you so much for sharing everything
absolutely
about fostering.
So
all right. Well, If you want to learn more about fostering, we don't really have that information on our website.
No, not on our website, but call up your local rescue, call up your local shelter. I really encourage people, if you're not sure about it, I mean, you set the limits. Like, can you foster, when you go on vacation, tell your rescue as early as possible. That way they can make other arrangements for your dog to go to another foster or to be boarded. Okay. But I would just say, if you're interested in this, call a rescue. If that rescue makes you uncomfortable, call the next rescue. Yeah. It's, you just have to find the right fit. But set your limitations, try it out and see how it goes. Yeah. If it's not working out, you just call them up and say, hey, and just give them some time to
And if you're not sure you want a dog, please foster first.
Fostering is a great way to find the right match for your home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Candy. Yeah. And again, you can visit our website at lawsavingpaws.org, learn more about the show and everything else we're doing. And then follow us on social media. Yep. And you can email us at thebark@lawsavingpaws.org.
And send us your stories. If you have fun foster stories, we'd love to hear it.
Yes. Yeah. And even not great ones. We'll take the not great ones too. Yeah. So
nightmares and dreams.
Yay. So. All right, cool. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.